going to talk about a couple of things tonight. One, because I am vice president of the Lincoln Club. We gave $10,500 to Debbie and $10,500 to Ed Waggy as well. There's a lot of high roller kind of people that associate with those kinds of things, and I don't know why I'm the vice president or even a member of their board, because I have a hard time giving $10 to campaigns. But anyway, bottom line is, one of the things that's really important that happened here in the last couple of months in the Republican Party was a Tea Party influence. Now, I remember when the Tea Party first met in Sunken Gardens. I was there as one of the first speakers they had, and you had 1,200 people in that venue. And when you filled the Galaxy Theater, you put 350 people in the Galaxy Theater. And in 4 years I've been part of the Lincoln Club and working closely with the Republican Party. Nobody else has done that. You're the only group that's been able to organize those kinds of groups in North County. And that's really important. Now, the largest Republican event that I've been to has about, on average, 100 people at the Lincoln Reagan Day dinner, things like that, or their picnic, somewhere around 100 people as well. Fairly well-heeled 100 people most of the time. But, you know, bottom line is, numbers count. Money's nice, but numbers count. You're getting the public out there, you're getting them engaged, and that's really critical that happens. You're getting people engaged who've never been engaged before. And that's absolutely essential, because the Republican Party has not been able to do that. They have not been willing to do that. And the sad thing about it is the Republican Party, as I've seen it, consists of the caricature of what the Republican Party is. And that's the very, very wealthy people a country club set. That's one segment who doesn't really care about anything except protecting their portfolio. There's another group that's the Reagan Democrats, who came in around 1980. That's where I kind of came in that time frame. Became a Republican, because really there's no place else for me to go. And the third group was the social conservatives, the religious right, various groups like that, because there's no place for them to go. And so you provided a voice. You don't talk on social issues, but you provided a voice for that great 60 to 70% of the American people that are not, that have not been engaged. But during election times, they go, and a lot of them do vote, about half of them vote, but you are providing a voice for people that have not been engaged. And it's important you continue to do the kinds of things you are. Now, the bad thing is, it's happening right now, is articles like Cuddy, because the other side is defining you. And it's absolutely essential that you speak up and you say, this is who we are, and this is what we stand for. And you have to say it about 100 times a day in 100 different places a day, because the other side has the big megaphone. They have the media, all the media, pretty much, except for Fox News and maybe, you know, little outlets like KPRL once in a while, that they're able to be a small voice in a large area. But they own the universities, the colleges, they own the public school system, they own the Hollywood groups, they own large portions of Wall Street are pretty much in their pocket. The government controls most venues of education in this country, and unfortunately your kids spend 40 hours a week, not 50 weeks a year, but 9 months of the year in that cesspool of indoctrination. And they spend 4 more years in the university system if they get to go to college, getting even more, getting everything they've been taught reinforced. And about the sophomore year, they come back and they know their parents are really dumb because of everything they've been told. And I have 4 kids and I went through this. It was really fun. They came back to their senses about age 28. Yes, sir. Like getting back to this, that you define yourselves, and you've got to start reading what the other side is saying. You have to. I read 5 or 6 papers a day. And there's a couple I want to show you if you haven't. Certain publications you should know about. Magazines, I don't know if you get these in the Shell station, you can also subscribe. Weekly Standard, this is started by William F. Buckley. It's the standard for the conservative movement in the United States, pretty much. It's pretty good stuff most of the time, not all the time. The Washington Times is it's a weekly I get. It's a compilation of articles from the Washington Times newspaper in D.C., which is from a conservative viewpoint. You'll see things in there you won't see anywhere else. But things you can get that are free. I read the Wall Street Journal editorial page every day and some of the stories, but I also read Investor's Business Daily. Not because I have stocks and bonds and I'm rich, because I'm not and I don't, but you can go online and get this for free, and you'll see things you won't normally see. It's IBD, what it's called, Investor's Business Daily, IBD.com. You get free editorials on the internet, and you will get commentary and insight on issues, whether it's global warming, defense matters, national security, economics, what he's doing in the oil fields, that you won't see anywhere else. And I also read sometimes the Fresno Bee, just because I want to know what's going regionally in California outside of this little fishbowl we live on the Central Coast. And the nice thing about IBD.com, Investors Business Daily, is they have an archive. And you can go back years and years and years. They got a story on the energy industry a couple of years ago. It was like a 12-part series. You want to know what's happening with the oil industry? In-depth analysis and stuff like that. You can pull it up. It's all there. And it's free. I founded an organization in 2006 in Atascadero called A Better Atascadero. I watched a couple of people go up before the city council and basically get, skinned alive in front of the council because they were protesting against creek setbacks, which were going to take away their property rights and going to basically prohibit them ever doing anything with their property. And they didn't know what to do because the mayor, who at that time was Mike Brenner, ridiculed them. He said, all I see in the audience is a bunch of realtors and speculators. And this is the same mayor, by the way, that once expelled a 72-year-old man who was a once former Atascadero Citizen of the Year for disrespectful grimacing. He didn't like the expression on his face during public comment, so he had a police officer during the break escort him out. I think his name was George Miller. Distinguished citizen. The man was furious. Then he lied and said he didn't do it, but he did do it, and the man came back the following week and just ripped into the council. But the bottom line is I founded ABA. Went to the next day. I went down to the realty office where Jolene Horn worked, and I talked to her and her husband. And I said, what are you planning to do? They didn't know what to do. So I talked, do you have any friends? So let's get together and talk about this, because I do a little bit of political organizing on the side. I kind of know a little bit about campaigns. I think I can help you. So we got them together. There's 8 people total that met. We formed this organization, and we stopped the creek setbacks. They didn't tell these people that they had a certain amount of time. You only have 30 days from the time an ordinance passes to do a referendum. Well, 11 days into it, oh, your clock started 11 days ago, and you have to get 1,600 signatures. Well, these ladies went out there and a couple other people. They got 2,200 signatures in about 12 and a half days. And then brought that back to the city council. The city clerk certified it, and the council didn't know what to do. The whole thing died. And that's how ABA got its start. Anybody can do that. It's not that hard. It takes work, but you start by getting your friends and your neighbors just like this, and you start organizing locally. We had people from the Green Party who were signing these petitions to stop it, because they may want to stop somebody else's development in somebody else's backyard, but wait a minute, this is my backyard. You don't mess with my property. And they signed these petitions as well. We used a Did You Know campaign, and we basically started sending things out to people and said, did you know? That we take an issue and we lay it out there. This is actually happening. They said, no, I had no idea. If you want to do something about it, call this number, send an email, whatever to this, send an email to these people, but call us. And we would follow up. And we built an organization at one time. There was almost 400 people here in Atascadero. And when this Atascadero City Council election came up in 2008, the United States of America went left. The state of California went left right over the cliff in the Pacific Ocean. The county almost went all left. And Atascadero turned right, and we won 4 out of 5 seats on the city council. And we already had one there, but basically the bottom line is we have a 5-0 city council for the last 4 years. And they work very well together most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. And what you did is you turned around 30 years of we don't want anything built in Atascadero ever. We don't want anything done here. And we have one of the worst reputations in the county, if not the central part of the state, where this is not a place to invest, where we have the best reputation right now, where business people say Atascadero has really turned around, and they seriously consider this town. The sad thing is, I'm not on the board of directors because I stepped back from that house. I got sick. ABA is not as effective as it could be, and I don't know what's going to happen in this election. We could lose it all and go back to the way we were in this election. Nobody is guaranteed a seat on anything. My wife, Roberta, can easily lose her seat. The other side is never sleeping. These people live, eat, and sleep politics because they only believe in politics and they believe in power. That's what politics is. It's very raw power.